Hello, I'm Professor Marty Romero. Welcome to Math 219 Statistics and Probability. I want to introduce myself to you. I've been at Santa Ana College for 6 years. I've taught online classes, face-to-face classes. I have experience with statistics, so it's a good chance, and my goal is to provide you with all the tools necessary to be successful in this class. Additionally, I've taught in East LA, South LA. I've taught middle school and high school. That was the beginning of my career. After that, I ended up teaching at Cal State LA and UCLA prior to coming to Santa Ana College. My personal background, I have 2 daughters, a wife, and a new puppy, so I'm not the boss of the house. I've learned that right away. What else? I live in Los Angeles County now, or I always have. So my experience at Santa Ana College is really my first times being in Orange County. Additionally, how about my academic experience out of high school? Like I said, I grew up in East LA, went to Los Angeles Unified High School, went to UCLA right out of high school, struggled like many inner city students do when they go to college, being a first generation college student, first one to go to college in my family. It was a struggle, but I made it. Barely made it, but I made it. After that, after many years of saying I'm not going back to school, I decided to go back to school to get my master's degree, and I got into that in mathematics also, and that was at Cal State LA, which was right around the block from my house. After that, of course, after saying I'm never going to go back to school, I went back to school again, got my PhD from UCLA in mathematics education or urban schooling education, really where I studied to figure out how do I support students, and that's how I ended up at Santa Ana. So what are some hopes and goals I have for this course? Well, it starts with the syllabus. One thing that I want you to be mindful of by the end of this course is that statistics is everywhere. You can find it in every aspect of our life, especially what's going on now with pandemics, with protests. A lot of people's claims about the world, which I want you to start to think about, are connected to some statistics, right? That's what's driving their claims about the world. And so I want you to be mindful. That's one of the things I want you to take away. In addition to being successful in the class and using this as your next step, some of you need this for your your degree or your major, where you're going to do some statistical analysis. And so our course, I want you to think about, comes in 2 ways. One is through what we call descriptive statistics, which is the idea of just using graphs and data, tables to tell a story, right? Not that you're interpreting it, but looking at data on election forecasts, right? This is descriptive statistics. It's been collected, and now they're describing it. Now, what are the conclusions? That's up to the consumer, right? As you take in the information, what's happening with the viruses now, what's going on, right? You hear this information, but until we organize that data, we don't know what's going on. And here's another way of organizing or describing the data. Now, what's the interpretation? Again, that's left up to the consumer, you guys. What does it mean to flatten the curve? Again, we look at data through graphs. Other things, again, how data can describe any aspect of our world. This was a big one right now, right? Police perception versus public perception. This is interesting. Now that this is just describing the data. What does it mean, right? That's up to interpretation, right? And this here is an interesting graph of percent who say that deaths of blacks during encounters with police in recent years are a problem, right? And so all the public, 60% think that. Police think it's only 30% of police. And then if you break it down by white and black, you'll see a difference of opinion too. Now, what does this mean? Again, it's all interpretation. This is descriptive statistics. Another kind of interesting example that you see in your life of statistics is looking at these headlines right here. Losing weight and stabilize your blood sugar by eating carbs this way. So there's a claim being made that if you eat carbs this way, somehow you will lose weight or stabilize your blood sugar. And you can see these claims all around our world. Health claims, easy ways to triple your immunity against any virus, right? Now, you would have to dig deeper, but these are claims people are making, the 7 best foods, right? And so I want you to be aware, that's one of the main goals of this class, is really start to think about how we test these claims. And most of the time it's going to be through a statistical analysis. Again, looking at all these different ways. ways to give your hair more volume. Okay, so that's one of the goals. The next thing is I want you to take a look at is something like statistical studies, which would be something that you see a lot of times either on Facebook, Instagram, on TV. We'll take a look at that too.
How sugar might fuel the growth of cancer.
Now, a new study shows late-night snacking could damage the part of your brain that creates and stores memories.
A new study finds pizza is the most addictive food in America.
The new study suggests hugging your dog is bad for your dog.
A new study showing that drinking a glass of red wine is just as good as spending an hour at the gym.
What?
Okay, so let's now take a look at the syllabus here. Once you get started, logged in, the syllabus will tell the story for you. So I have the PDF here. You can go here to the syllabus. I have the PDF here. I also have it linked to a Google Sheet so that you could, in case any updates and things I need to change come up. But let's look at that again. I'll have you read through that. But we don't have, this is not the Math 219 with support. I want to make sure I highlight our office hours. I will do that on virtual Zoom. You'll learn to use Zoom if you're going to come on to this. You'll need to learn Zoom for the exams. But these are the dates I'll be available. And then Friday is for signups. There's a Google a link on our Canvas page. The textbook we have is free. You can get it here. You can download or just view it online. I do suggest a technology. Most people will tell you it's worth a $15 purchase, StatCrunch, but we have something called Art of Stat, which I talk about later on, that is free, but some of my videos don't talk about the Art of Stat. They only show StatCrunch, but most feedback from students is that this is well worth it, the StatCrunch software, since we're not buying a book. So keep in mind, again, my goal is to best support you, right? I understand that many of you may not have the best experiences of math. Math has been very boring, but this is statistics. And so keep that in mind, but I'll do the best I can to support you through this process. And as I talked about before about my course goals, you could read that and hopefully those get accomplished. Keep in mind what your responsibilities are. I just want to make sure that this is a rigorous course, especially through 6 weeks. It's a very rigorous course. There are assignments that must be completed by day 1, or that's considered a no-show and you'll be dropped. Those are posted already. So keep that in mind now. I'll talk about on a separate, at the end of this introduction video, is how you do your homework. There's online homework and challenge problem written homework. So I want to make sure that you're aware of that. There's those two pieces. The online part is where you get your extra practice. This is really what reinforces it. The challenge problems are a good way to check to see, do you understand what's going on, right? You've done the online, can you do this? These get written and you're going to upload them. Okay, that's a big part of your grade. As a PDF, I've posted some instructions for that on our website. If you don't have a scanner, you can do that with a mobile device. There are 4 quizzes throughout. Those are posted. They'll be available a few days before the quizzes are due. They're always due on Friday, which is, I have a calendar posted, which I want to make sure you go through. There are only 2 exams. We'll do it on Zoom. I want to make sure you read this here. Those only 2 times you need to assure yourself that you're available for the exams. Okay, there's a midterm and final exam. And again, the materials here for you to read and go through. And then the grading policy, you'll see the sections of the class. You have the 2 exams, the quizzes, the Canvas problem or the challenge problems or any Canvas assignment, and then the online homework. Keep in mind of those important days of when you would drop days, things like that, midterm and final exam. And so we'll end on showing you, I'll show you next what the homework looks like and how you learn in the class. So how we're going to navigate our course in Canvas. Once you log into Canvas, you have the home screen. The home screen will have our calendar. It's a Google link. And also our course and task list. Everything should be up to date here, so this will keep you organized on what's due, what you should be working on. Here's just a calendar look of the same material and a reminder of the content. Where you're really going to go is into the modules. There's a couple of things, of course, your grades, discussions, which are within modules too. The other thing is to keep in mind before I get is that you have online tutoring, free access as an online student. And so Their service is called Net Tutor. So you want to try that out as soon as possible so you can get going. But the main place you're going to go to navigate the course is through the modules. And then the modules will be organized, of course, by modules. And so you'll see this listing of different things through in the course. And the way you're going to navigate the material is by just going through the units, module 0, the getting started, and then the unit 1, unit 2, and just you move your way through it. And so what you have here is once you get here, well, of course, let me stress course information. Everything we need for the course will be here, so just keep that in mind. Links to the things you need. Important here will be the formula sheet that you can use for the exams, our textbook link to the textbook since it's free. It's a PDF or online version, or you could print it out or buy it for hard copy. My contact information and so forth. And of course I have the quizzes and challenge problems. Those are big assignments throughout the course. The first assignments you need for this class are here. These need to be done by Monday. So keep that in mind there. Also, what you have here is once you get started into a unit, you'll look here and you'll see you'll have the guided notes, which I'll talk about a little bit more, but this is where my video lectures and guided notes are, right? So you can print those out, and then the video lectures, just like if you were in class, are here, okay? And so that's what you're going to do. Every unit has the guided notes and videos at the beginning, and then the practice are your online homework. So keep that in mind, and then you just continue to go through this aligned with the calendar. The due date should be okay here as we go through them. Yeah, everything's set up as we go through the material here. The online homework is all due before the midterm or the final, and then these challenge problems are due on these due dates to kind of keep you on pace. And you just proceed through the class this way, through Unit 1, Unit 2, and it has the same format. Okay, so now when it comes to your homework, there are two main types, okay? One is the online homework, and so you find that in Canvas here. And so for example, our first practice key terms, you would have here, opens up, click here and opens up, and you'll get started on that. What I suggest though is as it opens up and gets started, is I suggest to somehow document your written work somehow on a blank sheet of paper, or if printing's not an issue, you can print out the online homework. So that's the online homework. The other main homework is, when we go back to Canvas, are the challenge problems. That's the written homework. You'll find the challenge problems in multiple areas, but the first one's here, right? That's a discussion board, and I would print those out and document your work. This is the first set of challenge problems here. I would document that. Again, there's not enough space to write here, but I would then write on a separate piece of paper, and this is what gets scanned in as a PDF and uploaded and posted on the discussion board. But those instructions are posted. Okay, one main way that you're going to learn in this class is to use your note sheets that I've posted in the modules. And so this is the note sheets for the first one. You're going to watch videos and you're going to take notes. And as you go through that, right, all the key information's here. You'll write your notes, keep it organized. Sometimes if you have questions, I use space here on the side, left space on the side for you to jot down questions that you may want to ask later, come to office hours, or go back to and review. Okay, a second way that we learn in this class could be through the practice assignments. It's your homework, but within the homework, I have videos and text within there that you could use to complete your homework. And that's opposed to the video lectures and guided notes, what we would be doing if we were in class together. So if you click on a practice assignment and you go ahead and start the assessment, right? You will see some notes, of course. You'll navigate your way through the next pages. There'll be questions in text, so you'll see there'll be text in here, right? Actually like a textbook, and you can read that and answer questions, right? With some summaries. And then you answer questions. Let's go to the next page. And then again, there could be more text that you read here, but a lot of this is already lined up with our guided notes and the lectures. So you have some choice there. And then you'll have videos also within it, and you could play those videos, and then you could learn from the videos also within the assignment. So that's another way. They're not identical. These are different videos. These are more skill videos, kind of explaining these problems here, which you're going to be working on. So that's another way. And so you want to play back and forth what's going to work for you. And these videos, again, should help you finish your assignment here. Something I want to stress throughout this next 6 weeks is making sure you have a comfortable space to do your work. Make sure it's organized. This is my office. This is my laundry room, also our laundry room. You can see there. So if you're talking to me in office hours or you hear my videos that I'm making, this is probably where I'm doing it. I got this for my birthday a few weeks ago. Microphone to hopefully you could hear me better. And so I want to make sure I stress that for you guys, especially again as we get to the exams. You want to make sure you have a comfortable, quiet place to do your work. Okay, now that you've gone through all the material for the class, I want to make sure again to remind you of the big things. Again, as you get to the home screen, our calendar is here, your to-do list of problems, what's coming up. You have a list of the tasks here. So you always have some idea. Here's your link to your office hours for Friday office hours. Just make it a plan to check in, especially if you're unsure of yourself or have any questions. Make sure we take care of that. I have my first office hours on Monday morning. Drop in and we can answer any of your questions. Again, I wish you the best of luck during this class, and hopefully I can serve you to the best of my abilities and we're successful.